So in few days we will complete React basics, and then we'll do some good projects. Okay, so we'll do some good projects in React. Like one of the project is a real estate website which I will be building, and there are many small projects which I will do. Those are helpful for learning, but this is the real estate will be the commercial kind of project, and I will make this project live. So once I will build everything, it will go live to the public. So it will be public after a few days. Another one will be the script launch kind of thing. I will explain you what it means. I will start that also soon, these two projects, and there are a few more projects I will start. So after React, I will start with MongoDB and Parse server, and then I will start the project. So this is the agenda. Along with the MongoDB Parse server, we will also do Node.js, because whenever we do Mongo or Parse server, they are tied to the Node.js. So we'll do, along with database, we'll also do Node.js, only the important stuff needed for building our project. But we will go more in depth Node.js after few weeks. Okay, so let's do one. Ashok has done it, but he's getting some error. So still, Ashok, still you're getting that error, or is it resolved? Okay, so he's getting the error, and I will run his code and see what thing we can change. So this is my app.js. I will save it as a copy, and I will put his code. So app master.jsx. So I just rename it. Now I will take the app.js and I will put his file and see what problem he is getting. Okay, I will put his file now. He sent me the email. Okay, so this is the project. Let me start and see what if I'm getting the same error as he's getting. So I'll run npm start and see what is the error he's getting. Okay, it's starting. Give me 1 minute. Okay, once it will start, we'll do. Still starting. Need to wait for a few minutes more, few seconds more. Okay, it started. Okay, so I'm getting this properly, right? Okay, now I got the error. Let's see. So after second, let's start again. Okay, so the problem yeah, on that day only I saw the problem. So I think here you have 3 options and you put third number which is not there right now, but this may not be the problem. So let's put 1 right now, but I think the problem is different one. Let's check again. Okay, I'm getting it. So let's see what is the problem. So if we see the history, render with hooks, update function component, begin work, callback. I don't see this any related to my work, so I'm just going down and see. Okay, so if I don't get, because it's saying that there is some infinite loop going on. Okay, so something is happening after a few questions. I'll save this. I'll save this. Okay, so second time when I'm saving, it's happening. So we'll see what's happening. So here are the questions, which is running fine, and he's going through the questions, looping through the questions. That is also correct because I'm able to see it. But when I click the next button, at that time the error is happening. Okay, so I say the step +1 and I click the next button. So first thing is that you cannot call the function here. So you have to only call the function name like this, show results. You cannot say, you cannot initiate the function here. You should always call the function name, that is the show results. So show results is here. You have to only say the show results. If you trigger the function here, so even before clicking the finish button, this is triggered. So this is the problem which we should avoid. We should never call the function immediately when we call it. So because what happened, what it means when I click, I am saying when on click, call this function. Okay, so this function should be called only when I click the finish button. But since you have put the round bracket here, that means you are calling the function when the last page is loading, because you are not waiting for the finish button to click. You are immediately calling it. So that is not allowed. So you should just put the show results. Okay, so now we'll check it again. I'll call this one, then I'll call this one, and then I can call the finish button. I'm getting the one right answer. Okay, so that was the problem. So did you note it, Ashok? Okay, so let's go to another thing. So now what I will do, I will create couple of projects here, because we will be doing some examples. So one project I will create in the React is npx create React app. So this is the way to create the React application, new project in the React, and I will give the name as MUI app. Okay, so you can also run this in your computer application, and when this will be done, we will be working in MUI app. So this is the one project which we will be doing. I will start that creation process, and I will also create another project. Okay, let me go to the same folder, React.js. I will again create another project, npx create React app, and here I will give some different name, maybe my routing. So I will be explaining the routing in this project, and I will also create third project. I'll go to React folder, then I'll, one second, hold on. Okay, so yeah, can you hear me now? Okay, so two projects are already running. I will also create third project, and because it takes time to create the project, I'm just running it. Create React. You may do one by one because it makes the PC very slow. It makes my computer very slow. See, I started two projects and already it's very slow. I'm not able to type properly. Okay, so I'll wait for this project to get over and then I will start it. So till it gets over, let's do some research what we are going to do today. So one of the thing is we will be using the material UI in our new project. So I will show you how to do the material UI. So this is the website mui.com. I will click the get started and here is the installation. So first I will install the MUI, that is the material UI, and then I will see few components if they are working fine. And if they are working fine, that means our task is done. We successfully deployed material UI in our application. So that is what we are going to do now, and this is the one project which we will do, and then next will be the React router. So till now we were only accessing the page using the local host, and if we want to access it with like page 1 or page 2, then we will use the React router. Okay, so that's what we will be doing, another one. And the third project which I will install will do about the use effect. So one of the important concept in the React is use effect. So we will see that one. These three are very small topic. I may complete all three today, or at least I'll complete two today. Let's see how much time it takes. Okay, so let's see where it. Okay, so I run together two, so both got failed. Sometimes it happens. I should only run one at a time. It's not able to handle two at a time. Okay, it's saying the folder already exists. So let me delete that project. Delete that folder. Delete this folder. And delete this folder also. Okay, let's run again. Yeah, I got this error long back also, and still I started two projects at the same time. I think React only allows one project at one time. Okay, so let's go to the steps which we will be doing in installing the material UI, and I will be writing down the steps. You can also copy, because all our projects, whenever I start the real estate or script plans or any other project, I will be doing it. I will be using the material UI in all my projects. Previously, I used to use the Bootstrap, but then after using the material UI, I don't like the Bootstrap. The quality of Bootstrap is not very good compared to the material UI. Though you should know the custom CSS, but a lot of projects we will be doing this one, the material UI, and few things we will put our custom CSS, so that you can at least build good website without even knowing the custom CSS. But knowledge of custom CSS is required when you go for a professional job. Okay, so I'll not work on Bootstrap now because Bootstrap quality is not good compared to material UI. So first thing is we need to install a material UI using this line of statement. So I'm writing down all the steps which we need for the installing of material UI. Second thing is I want to put this link in my index.html. So put following code in index.html. Okay. Third thing is we need to install the fonts. So I will use this line to install the fonts. So third step is install this, and this is all about installing the material UI. Okay, now another question is which one is good, CSS or SCSS or less? So the thing is that in SCSS and less you get lot of functionalities, right? So which helps us in our better coding style. So both are good. Whatever you prefer, you can use it. But when I go with real company job, I prefer to use whatever the company standards are. Some company prefer SCSS, that is SAS, and some company prefer less. So I follow whatever their rule is there. But if I want to make my personal website, I just build with normal CSS. Okay. So if I go with personal, I don't go with SAS or less, or because if you have very big website, many developers are there, so using them makes the things easier because you have to take that another person's code. But when you are building your own code, then it is little extra work to do that one. So depending on what you prefer, you can do that. Okay, so this is all about the question. Okay, so I will take few lesson of SAS and less. Sure, definitely, because I have used both less also, SAS also. In one of the company project I use SAS, in another one I use the less one. So I have experience of both, so I will show you the both. Okay, in some time in future. Okay, now let's see what. Okay, so these three steps are there to install the material UI, and after we are done with these three steps, we'll go and see some of the components if they are working or not. Okay, so that's what we will be doing it. That is the exercise which we will be doing it, and I encourage you to do same thing along with me. And that means don't wait till the class ends, you watch video and do it at the later time, because you will not get time to watch the video again. Though I will upload it in the YouTube, but you will not get the time. So try to do in front of me. That way, even if you don't do at the later time, it's okay. Okay, so I got this project done. Let's go to this project MUI app, and I'll say npm. So before saying npm start, we need to follow all the steps, the one which I wrote in the notepad. So first thing is this line of statement. I will put it in the chat also, or you can go to mui.com and in the installation, you can see the first line of the statement. Okay, so let me run this line of statement. So make sure you are inside your project. Sometimes people install it and they are inside the main root folder, React.js folder, but then it will not work. You should be inside the folder or inside the project folder where you are working. And I will run the command npm install MUI material, emotion react, and emotion styled. Okay, so let this run, and you can also run along with me till it gets installed. You can also start it. So next time when we will create the project and we want the material UI, so you should follow these three steps, and that's all. I will not tell you again. I will just give you the link where you can go and see how to install it. So though I will install it every time when I will start a new project and I have to use the material UI. So you can copy it whenever I create the project. Okay, let it complete and then we'll run the second step. So first step is done. Let's do the second step. Yeah, it's there actually in the website. I will also create my URL where you can copy. So the second step is this one, Roboto font. It's already in the MUI.com, but I will put it here also if you want to. Okay, this is the one. I'll put in the chat also. You can follow that. Okay, so let me copy this all three steps. Okay, let's copy the second step now and do it. I'll copy it from here and let's put it in the. Okay, let's go to the MUI app, and in the public folder we have index.html. So you can put anywhere this file anywhere in this page in the head section. So I will put it here. You can put it anywhere in the head section. So below the title, I put that link, whatever they are suggesting it. Because Material UI always uses Roboto font, and that's the reason we need this Roboto font on our website. And that's the reason we are putting this on the page. Okay, so this is the second step. Let's see if we are done with the first step. Still going on. I created page also. You can go to that page to see all the steps. Okay, what is the question? Yes, you have to see your project is completely installed successfully, and then only you have to go inside the project and run all these three steps. Otherwise, it will not work. So you have to see your project is created successfully. Okay. So let it complete, and then we'll go with the third step. Okay, so all two steps are done. Now let's go to the third step. Third step is we need to install these icons. So I will copy this line and I'll go to here and I will paste it here. So this will install the icons for our website, and we can use any icon which they provide. So for example, they have, which icons they have, let's see. Okay, icons. Okay, so these are the total 1700 icons. You can use any of the icons once you install the icons library. And we will use some of the icons today now. Okay, still it's installing. Okay, I will do it Once this is done, I will show you some examples, and then we're done with this project, and then we'll start with another one. Okay, let me see what Rakesh has written. Where we have to put the link. Okay, I will answer it. Index.html. So go to your folder, then go to the public folder, and in the public folder index.html, and in the index.html you can put anywhere in the head section. I put it below the title, but I could have put above the title also anywhere. So this title ends here, I put it here. Okay, so this third step is also done. Now we will see how it is working. So let's say npm start. So we have installed the material UI, but we have not changed the code to for the material UI. So now I will change my code to use the material UI code. Okay, so I'll show you that one now. Okay, so my website is started. Let's see how it looks now without me doing anything. So right now if I put localhost, it is the initial page. Now I will remove the initial page and I will put our custom code for the material UI. So I'll go to the app.js. I will delete these two lines. I will delete this one line, and right now I'll just say hello world to show the hello world. I will also import React from React. This is the first line I put, and then just I put hello world. In the index.js I will, or in the index.css I will delete all. In the app.css I will delete all, because I don't need their CSS, the inbuilt CSS. I want to use the material UI, so I deleted all the CSS. Now, still if I go, I will see only the hello world, but I will now try to put the code of material UI. So let's put some code. I will go to usage to see one of the code. So here we see the import button from the material UI. Let's try this code first. So I'll copy this line of the code and I will paste it here, because all import statements should be at the top. Then I will call this button, and instead of hello world I will put it inside I will put this button code here. Okay, now we'll see how it looks. So you will see we got the material UI button. Let's try to put some few more things here, just to show you we are using the material UI. See, we got the good looking button here. Let's try to put some components. Okay, let's try to use the icons which I said. Okay, let's try to put few icons. So if let's say if I want this person, or what aeroplane, let's put this one. So here it's saying first we have to import this icon. So I will import this. I clicked it, it is copied, and now I will put it here. Now I can use this anywhere I want. Okay, so this is the one, I put it here. Okay, so you can also have different coloring scheme about it. Like this, you can have size also, you can change the color, you can change the background. We'll see how it is. It's Okay, let's see what example they are giving it in the UI. Okay, so before that, going into detail, let's see the aeroplane is here. Let me delete the button so you can see the icon. So this is the aeroplane. Now we will modify something. So it's saying I can use outline. If I say outline, it will look like this one. If I say filled, it will look like this one. Rounded will be little rounded. So these are different versions of it. Let's try to use the okay. Let's try some more other things. Let's try to put the color. So let me put the primary color. I'll say color equal to primary, and let's see. So it looks like a blue. And let's increase the size. So font size, I'll say large. So font size is large. We can increase to still bigger number, whatever you want. So this is the way they are showing you to use it. Let's try this way. Okay, let's try to put it 80. Let's try to put 120. Let's try to put 160. Okay, so we can make the icon bigger as we want. And so here there is a button and we have the icon here. We can use that way. This is the example to do that. I can copy it and I can put it here also. I'm just showing this. These are different ways of doing the things. Okay, so this may not work because we need to install this also for some. Okay, so if we need to use this code, we need to install this library also. Right now I'm not I will not install it, but we can do it if we need it. You can use Bootstrap also, but the quality of material UI, see how the looks are there. It's Bootstrap will not match up the quality of material UI. So this is the example we can use in our real project. You can like call me, you can make like that. Let's do one more thing. Let's do the loading icon, progress bar. I will start for progress bar. Yeah, because many times we need to show the loading icon before we load the page like this. So let's do this one. I'll copy this part. You don't need to do it, just watch it that I'm doing. Maybe because once you install the npm material, that's all we needed. Rest all will be used with the help file. So whenever we want to use something, we'll go to the help file and we'll see how it is used and we'll use it in our application. So I'm using this. We don't need to by heart or remember it. See, this icon is going. Let's take one or more before I end it for today, this part. Okay, let's do the snack bar. Okay, snack bar is something. If I click this, you see on the left side it is coming up. So let's take this code. I will copy all 5 lines of the code, put it here. Then I will. You don't need to understand now all this top thing because I'm just showing the sample example. When we do really, we will change this variable details. Okay, let's copy this whole thing. Okay, now we'll see the same thing. So if I click snack bar, this is coming here. So we can change the position of this also from the top, right, bottom, middle, everywhere. If you like Bootstrap, you can use Bootstrap. I prefer Material UI because the quality Material UI gave is much better than any other one. In fact, last year when I started the React one, I used the Bootstrap. I did not use the Material UI. So this is the drawer. Let's see how drawer goes. Left side, it comes from the left side. Right side comes from the right side. And you can customize what things you need it here. And it is the bottom. It's a drawer. So you can put this also. This is a pagination. So both are, you cannot say, okay, pagination is there in Bootstrap also, but pagination looks will be much better in Material UI. In Bootstrap, it may not be so good in quality wise. And if you see all the list, Bootstrap may not have all the things, but Bootstrap may have some other things which Material UI does not have. So it's both are independent kind of thing. If it's not there, you have to build your custom CSS. But almost everything which you need for the today's website is there in this Material UI. It's also there in the Bootstrap. So either way, you can use both. So if you want to use both Bootstrap and Material UI in one project, you can use that also. But that is not advisable because you know uh, it's layout wise, Material UI does some different thing, Bootstrap does some different thing. So you have to be, your code will be a little messy if you use both. This is the alert kind of thing. When you show some kind of alert, almost everything is there, whatever you want to use for your website. This is show backdrop. So something is going on in the memory. Everything has become grayed and we are showing the load icon. So this is backdrop. We will go through many of these components as soon as we build our project. But right now I'm just showing few good things. So I always prefer this Material UI nowadays, and whenever I have a choice, I will always use Material UI. Yeah, you can put the slider and see the quality it's giving. It's very nice quality. Okay, so this is something about the Material UI. You can use it whenever you want. Let's try to install another project now. We'll do quickly the what you call as useffect. Personally, I feel Material UI is better than Bootstrap because the quality which you get in Bootstrap is little kind of old, but with Material UI, the quality is much better. Their font or their looks are really good. Their coloring scheme and all is really attractive. Create React tab. I will say effect tab. I will be using use effect in this application in this project. So we are done with the Material UI part. Okay, the installation part. Though we will be using it when we will build our real projects. We will be using more components and all, but installation is done. Okay, so let's now go to the use effect. Let it install and then I will show you how to do the use effect. Okay, so we are done with this project creation. Let's go to the source folder, and let's go to the source folder app.js, and here I will show you the use effect. Now let me import React from React. I will delete all CSS from index.css and app.css. This is not needed right now. Okay, and in the app.js I will delete app.js. I will delete everything here. Okay, and here I will start with h1 tag, and I will say use effect module. So we are doing use effect module. I will start the project by going effect app, and then I'll say npm start. So whenever you want to run the React locally, you have to use npm start. How to run this React app in the production or in your website, that I will show you later on when the time will come. Right now, for development purpose, only you have to do npm start and then go to the browser, say localhost 3000. Okay, let's wait till it starting. Okay, it started. Now I'll refresh the page. Okay, so we are doing use effect. Use effect is the most important part in the React. So try to understand this concept. Okay, so first I will create two input variables, input box here. So div, I will say input type equal to text. So this is one input box, and I will do another one. Here I will give some label h3. Maybe I will say my name. I will take name in this input box, and I will copy this, and I will take my age. So I have two input box, and now I will take I will create the state variables. So to create the state variables, we have to use constant, and we have to give the variable name, and we have to give the function name, which will update my variable. So I create one is the name and its state name. Name will be the variable name, state name will be called to update the name. I will say use state. Initially I will make it empty. Same thing with the age. I will say set age. Initially it will be empty. So everyone know how to create a state variable. Those are new, they can watch my old videos, so that you should know what are the state variables. So right now I created two input fields. Now I have to access these fields. Now how will I access these fields? To access this field, I will put this state variables. Since this input text will be changed whenever user will type something, that's the reason we have created the state variables. If it does not change, then we can avoid using the state variables. Now I have to tie this name with this input box, and I have to tie age with this input box. So to tie name with this input box, I will say value equal to name. That means whatever the value is for this name variable, it will be attached to this input box. And same thing for this input box, I will say value equal to age. That means this age is tied to this input box. Now whenever someone type this in this input box, I have to update the name variable using this function set name. So I will say on change. Whenever user will try to change, I will call the arrow function, and this arrow function will take the parameter event, and if I want to see what user has typed in this event or in this input box, I can do the console.log. Name is event.target.value. So this is the Whenever someone try to change, we get event, and event is object. Inside event there is a target, and inside target there is a value. So whatever user will type inside this input box can be used, can be accessed with this variable name. Now I have to call the set name to update the name. So what should I put inside the set name here? Can anyone tell me? Since on change, whatever user will type, it will be event.target.value. So set name, when I call the set name, I have to update with the new value what user has put in this input box. So it should be event dot, right, it should be event dot target dot value. Whatever we see it here, we have to put it here. When I call this function, what will happen? This value will be saved in this variable, that is in the name variable, and we can see that name variable. I will write down here, name is name. So whenever we call this one, whenever we call this function, it will update the name variable, and I can see it here. So I'll say console.log age is age. Okay, and now same way on change, I will call it in the age part. But here instead of set name, I will say set age. So whenever user will type the age, it will get this value, and it will call this function, which will eventually update the age variable, and I can see the variable is updated here. So I'll refresh it now. Okay, so now I will put some name. I put F for the name, so I'm getting name is F. For age, I will say 3. For example, age is saying 3. So if I say name as Jack, I can see name here is Jack, and age is 34. I can see age is 34. So we updated the value, each one like this. So this is the normal state variable, and this is the 2 input box which we have seen it here. Right now I don't need this one. I will comment it right now. So now what will happen? I will use, now this is the chapter of useffect. So let's see how useffect works. So if I say react.useffect, and in the useffect we have to call the arrow function. Okay, how we have to use the useffect? We have to say react.useffect, and we have to put arrow function inside it. Okay, so now here I will do console.log. I will say I am inside useffect. 1 second. Okay, so I am saying I am inside the useffect. Now let's see what happens when I run this code. So how to use the useffect? We have to call the useffect, and there is a round bracket, and inside round bracket we have the arrow function. And in this arrow function I will write some code or some logic here. Now let's see what happens. So I'll refresh the page. I will put name. So I am seeing that I am inside the useffect. Now when I go to age, I put something, then also you will see 2 number has come here. That means again I am inside the useffect is called. When I change something, again it is called. And if I do some changes here, you will see this. Every time I change here in the name, we are going inside the useffect. So whenever you do some changes in the state variable or in the props, so if we did props also, if you remember. So anything in the props or state variable, Okay, 1 second. Yeah. So anything, if a state variable is changed, like we call the state name, or the props is changed, we always go into the use effect. So whenever I use the use effect, we will always see that we are going inside it. Whenever the page will load, at least I'm getting one use effect here. You will see I'm inside the use effect. So that means whenever we do any change or when page load, we are calling the use effect and we are inside it. Okay, so now this part is never used practically in the React application because there will be hundreds of variables on the page, and whenever it is changed, that means we are calling this again and again, again and again. That makes our application very slow. So you should never call use effect like this. This is the one version of the use effect. I can write this is version 1 of use effect. Do not use this. Okay, why I'm saying do not use this? Because right now I have only two variables, and whenever I'm changing it, person is going inside the use effect. The code inside the use effect is called. So we should not call this version of use effect because it will render this part again and again, and this will be called, if I have some complex logic inside this use effect, it will be called again and again, again and again, and it will make my application very slow. So we should not call the use effect like this way. Now I will show you how to use the use effect. Now if you want to use the use effect only on the page load, not when user will change this input variables or state variables, then I will be called only on page load. So whenever you want to call the use effect on page load, not based on the state variable change, then what you have to do, you have to just pass second parameter as empty array. So you have to pass this as empty array. Now this will be this version. This is the version 2. This version will call use effect only one time on page load. It will not call again and again when you will change these variables. Okay, let's say again. I'm changing the name. See, it is called once. When the page load, I am calling this only once. Now when I'm changing the name or I'm changing the age, it is not called. We're not calling it anytime in my lifetime. So that means this use effect is called, this is the version 2 of the use effect, and this is called only on the page load. And how to make it sure that it will be called only on the page load? By passing the empty array as the second parameter. Though we can have multiple use effects, this is part 2 for example. So both will be called on the page load, and after the page is loaded, neither this will be called, neither this will be called. Now if I load the page, you will see this part is also called and this part is also called. That is, this part is also called because I have two use effect, both will be called. Now when I change something, nothing is called. We are not calling either this, either this. So when we have to do something on the page load, we do empty empty array kind of thing as a second parameter to the use effect. So this is the version 2 of it. Now let's see the version 3 of it. Now I will show you the version 3 of it. Okay, now let's see version 3 of use effect. Now I will call the use effect, and here I will say name is changed. Here I am saying name is changed, and I am passing this array. But what I am doing in this one, I am only saying name should be, whenever the name is changed in the state variable, call this use effect. So now what will happen? On the page load, it will be called, and then whenever I change the name part of the input box, this will be called. But whenever I call the age part, this will not be called because this is only called when I have changed the name. So it will say this is only called when I have changed the name. How I am making sure? Because I am passing name here. That means whenever this input box is changed, then only call this use effect. Now we will see that one. So if I refresh the page, on the page load it is called name is changed. And whenever I will change the name, you will see name is changed is called. But whenever I try to change the age, it is not called. Because that function is only called when name is changed, not when the age is changed. Let's try to add one more. And here I will only pass age. So this will be only called when age is changed. This part is called when name is changed. This part is called when age is changed. When age will be changed, this is not called. When name is changed, this is not called. Let's take that one. So I will initially when the page load, both will be called one time. Now when I will change the name, you will see name is changed is called. Whenever I change the age, only age is called, name is not called. Now I am changing age, only age is called. Now I am changing name, only name is called. So this part is called when name is changed, this part is called when age is changed. Now I will create one more part where I will put name and age both. So I am putting comma separated name and age. And here I am saying name and age is changed. So here this part will be called whenever the name and age, either of them is changed, then this part will be called. So I will say this as a 1, this as a 2, and this as a 3. Okay. 1 is name change, 2 is age change, 3 is name and age change. Now I will see what is happening. So when I load the page, all 3 are called one time. Now tell me, when I change the name, which numbers will be called? 1, 2 or 3? When I change the name, which numbers will be called? 1, 2 or 3? When I change the name, since name is here also, so 1 and 3 is called. So Anand is right, Kate is right. 1 and 3 will be called. Okay, when I change the age, what number will be called? 2 and 3, because age is here also. So when I change age, this will be called and this will be called. Let's check that practically. So now, initially all 3 are called. Now when I change the name, you will see 1 is called and 3 is called. When I change age, 2 is called and 3 is called. So that means React use effect is called. React use effect is called based on the parameter we pass. If we don't pass any parameter, it will be like version 2 and it will be called only once on the page load. But when we want to specifically change like name or age, then we need to pass that variable here. And now what will happen? So if I use age inside this use effect, but if I don't pass it here, then this is wrong. It's saying use effect as missing dependency, because I'm using age here, though age variable is defined here and I'm using it here. Since use effect wants that whatever I use it inside it, it should be passed here as a dependency. So I have to pass it age here. Now here name and age is used here, but if I don't pass age here, then it will again say missing dependency age, because age is used inside the use effect, but it is not passed as a dependency. So whatever I want to use variable name, I have to pass it here as a dependency. Okay, so hope this is clear, the use effect. There is one more power of use effect which I will explain you after I am done with the routing part. So this is the version 3. So I will give you 2 minutes to write down this one. Okay, so start with start with this part. Only concentrate on the use effect part. Okay, you may write whole project, but okay, you may write whole project, but you need to understand that this is the lecture of use effect. So you should concentrate on this effect, but you should type everything because you may not understand if you don't see whole project. So let me give the version 2. Okay. So I have the 2 pages. Once you are done writing this, or I can give you, I can give you the code here. So what you have to do while practicing, you have to type yourself. Right now I will give you the code, but after the class you practice it by 1 second, 1 second. Okay, so I will give you this whole code in Telegram group. So what you have to do, you have to uncomment this line of statement or write down this line of statement. Don't copy paste, otherwise you will not learn. And see whether you're able to see this on every change of the state. And then if you do this, uncomment this one, you will see the change will happen only on the page load. This part will be shown only on the page load. And when you do this part, this will be done when name is changed. This will be done called when age is changed, and this will be called when name and age, any of them is changed. Okay, so just I'll give you this in the Telegram chat group. I'm pasting there. Okay, that's all for today. Any questions?